Hi everybody, it's me again. Today I thought I would talk about some of my problems that I have. I wrote a list down for looking at it, but so as you know, I have a traumatic brain injury that I had earlier this year, and I had fallen multiple times, so I just kept making it worse. To the point that I was having trouble with my eye. That's what I covered last time. So beforehand, any of this happened, I actually had a traumatic brain injury for the last 5 years. And I didn't know that until I got diagnosed afterwards saying, this is pretty bad. You know, you should have had one earlier to cause this much damage, especially just from a fall, which was a pretty substantial fall. And so um, a lot of my problems, my health issues developed afterwards, and it was very interesting to find out that I wasn't the only one who had developed these problems. When I go to my traumatic brain injury group, many of the problems that I have, a lot of them developed due to the fact that the brain controls a lot of this. So the first one that I thought was very interesting was fibromyalgia. A lot of people, after having a traumatic brain injury, have a lot of pain all over their body, and which ends up being fibromyalgia, but it hurts a lot of the times after a fall to just be touched or anything because of what happened in our brain. And I also developed sleep apnea. So I would wake up in the middle of the night having trouble breathing because what I had hit was my brainstem, and the brainstem controls a lot of functions like swallowing. A lot of people have trouble with swallowing and breathing. So every single time that I felt that I would be having trouble breathing, it was due to my brainstem, and a lot of it due to my throat. So I also have reactive airway, which pretty much is another problem with my throat. Almost everything is revolving around the throat having trouble with its muscles. Reactive airway, I can't be by smoke. I can't be by perfumes. I can't be in high humidity, so taking a bath and a shower is an absolute dread for me because it's a lot of high humidity that I just can't breathe. There's not enough oxygen for me. It's literally how it feels. And so all of these developed after my first brain injury, which included all of the things that are involved in the throat. So reactive airway and sleep apnea and memory and swallowing. Sometimes I'd try to swallow, especially right after the injury. I tried to swallow and my body just wouldn't. It just couldn't figure out how to swallow. Um, um, Reading through my whole list. I also have other things that did not relate to traumatic brain injury, such as POTS, although I see a lot of people actually have that with it. So that's tachycardia upon standing. I've had it since I was a child. I figured this out after not being able to kneel or stand long in church. And I also have PTSD and a panic disorder, although I've had the panic disorder since I was a child, and after the brain injury it disappeared because literally I don't think I can panic. I can't have a panic attack. Like my body, like no matter when I've tried to have a panic attack, my body just goes and it just stops because it can't react, which is kind of sad because if I was in a bad situation, I couldn't have a panic attack. It's not good at all. And I also have PTSD from multiple situations, but that has not been affected at all. I still have flashbacks and everything. So that's pretty much all that I have, and it's almost been 5 minutes. My goodness. um, and I'm dealing with all of these situations. I have more diagnoses than that, but these have been my main ones that I've been struggling with. And I wanted to let you know a little bit more about me and my problems. So thank you for watching. Bye.